This transmission has been corrupted by Turkish Delight.
Hey, YouTube, it's me, Turkish Delight, at least according to the Gospel by John, and I'm here to admit that I sometimes make mistakes. Uh, to be or not to be, to spit or to swallow, everyone makes mistakes, some bigger than others. My mistake is that I thought that the Carno versus Cerato matchup was balanced. The reason why was because of some very inaccurate things with the distance of body buffs, and with the Carno running around so much, it kept running in and out of the body buff, and so the test wasn't as good. So I managed to find one of the best Carno mains in North America. Probably one of the best Carno main. Waffles himself. Now, we did some 1v1s between my Cerato and his Carno, and I got my ass handed to me. There is probably nothing a solo Cerato can do against a Carno. The only saving grace of the Cerato is that its max pack limit is 4, and the Carno's max pack limit is 3. That's its only saving fucking grace. Right? That is it. It is abysmal. 3 sub Carnos actually do a decent amount of damage to a fully adult Cerato. I saw this on a server myself. I killed all 3 of them, but I was at 30% health, which is impressive. I'm fairly sure 3 sub Ceratos will do absolutely nothing to a full grown Carno, to put that into perspective. Why is this? The simple reason is that you don't want to charge as a Carno. That's the first mistake. But you have to respect the fact the Carno can charge. Simple as that. You cannot just run in a straight line. You have to juke left and right and then do a full U-turn around the Carno. Similar to the U-turn, but obviously you're a bit fatter and a bit chunkier, so it needs to be a full U-turn. If you do this well enough, you could actually land a bite on the Carno. But the Carno is so fast, it can actually zip past you, then do an alt bite in your direction. So you're trading a bite for an alt bite. Now, the alt bite of the Carno, if it hits your head, leaves you with 76. Just doing about 24%. And this is without a body buff, by the way. That means that within about 4 alt bites to the head, you're basically dead. Which means not only do you need to dodge the Carno's attack, you need to dodge his alt bite, and you need to land a bite and hope you get a body shot. But a Carno's alt bite hitbox is so big, it can just spec your head. So at best, you're going from 4 bites to kill to about maybe 6, 7. And the amount of bites you need to kill a Carno is way more than that. That's insane. The Cerato, you need about good over 10, about 12 bites to finish off the Carno. And you don't have time to do charge bites, which is what I can probably imagine a few people already typing. Just do charge bites. No, you can't do it. Because the Carno's just going to run away. In fact, the Carno, if it's skipping, so you guys don't know what skipping is, I could do a video about it. It's basically where because the Carno does 6 steps to reach its full speed, it doesn't drain as much stamina getting up to full speed than it does at full speed. So you can run for those 6 steps, then let go of the shift button, and your walking will be a bit faster. And then you run again. Because you can get very, very close to your top speed consistently without draining that much stamina. Using this, the Cerato actually runs out of stamina chasing down the Carno. The Carno can escape as a Cerato. There is absolutely no fear whatsoever. You know? As well as the fact that you always have to trade a bite versus the Carno, and the Carno is always doing more damage than you are doing. The Cerato versus Carno matchup is not fun. We even tried this with a body buff, right? And we tried it in a few different ways. We tried a Carno fight as if the Carno wants to have the Cerato dead, right? As in the Carno's going to keep coming back into the body to kill the Cerato. It doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. The exact same thing happens. In fact, you're more restricted, right? Because what can happen is that you stay with the body. If the Carno feels danger, it can just run away, and you now have to stay with that body. You have no choice, unless you want to chase it. But the second you chase it down, you're now outside of the body buff. Cerato defending a body from Carnos. And that is it is a stalemate. If the Carnos keep trying to get, attacks on the Cerato when it is on the body, they're not going to do much, and Cerato will eventually start trading bites. The Carnos will run themselves out, basically. At the same time, the Carnos can just wait for the Cerato. So the Cerato can just eat the body, and when it's eaten the body, the Carnos can then just attack. So it's a little bit dog shit, to be perfectly honest, is what it is. Yeah. Like, as a Cerato, you have no... If a Carno is there around you as a Cerato, you kind of have to move it away. You know, you have to just hope that the Carno just stops being near you. You know, because the second your body is gone, the Carno is going to attack you, and the Carno will have the advantage. If the Carno attacks you and you have the advantage, it's going to be zipping in and out of that 40-meter range, but you can't chase it down. You have to stay near that body. You need to dodge it when it, if it goes for a charge. because Carnos can tap their charge, and then you need to, yeah, it's way too much. It's I don't know, yeah, Carnos are still really strong, and the Carno can face tank a Cerato and only lose 50% of its health. If the Cerato has a body buff, it loses 50% of its health and it kills the Carno. So that's a weird sense of balance right there, right? So the best way for a Cerato to really kill a Carno is to have a group of them to ambush Carnos when they're eating. That's the only real way. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's not a fair matchup. The Carno is very, very strong. In fact, people saying that the Carno is dead probably haven't really played Carno too well. It's ridiculously strong. Good Carnos weren't really using the charge unless they had a clear opportunity to do it. And it's, yeah, just the fact that the Carno still has the strongest ability. Somehow, even with Bile being in the game, the charge is still, in my opinion, the strongest ability. The reason is because you have to play around charge even when the Carno isn't charging. If the Carno doesn't charge, it doesn't mean that you can be like, oh, okay, I'll just run in a straight line. No, because then you get charged. You always need to play as if the Carno is going to charge you, even if the Carno doesn't. It means you're wasting precious time. You're wasting your position. You're wasting your advantage as a defender, you know, to get yourself out of position so that the Carno can get you. That's a ridiculously powerful skill. The Carno stomps the Cerato. I apologize for this. I thought that maybe the Cerato can. No, it doesn't. Even with the Bile, once you make them vomit and they have less stamina, they just keep fucking running. They don't give a shit. Because all of them run the stamina decay diet. Even if you run it as well, same thing. The Carno just whoop, gone. In fact, the Carno does better because now it's skipping, drains even less stamina. So it can just run forever. No, the Carno is ridiculously strong right now. You know, its turn rate has been changed, but you just need to change the way that you play it. You want to play positionally. You know, it's not exactly the fun drift monster that it used to be back when I played Carno. It's now a very, very strategical positional monster dinosaur. In the same way that Cerato isn't just an all-out brawler unless it has a body buff. It's more of a how do you say? It's more of a Utah. It's more of a, you know, I say out of a post dinosaur. You wait for attacks, you punish. That's not all I really have to say. I mean, this has given me depression. I mean, if you try it, play against a good Carno as a Cerato, and you will lose. The only saving grace, in my opinion, is the fact that Carnos, to the best of my knowledge, group up to 3 still, and Ceratos can group up to 4. Because you at least have that extra Cerato. And I think the best strategy for group fights with Carnos is to try and focus down one Carno straight away. You know, just focus down the Carno, keep your eyes on your back. You know, keep them on your back so that when that other Carno charges, you can very quickly U-turn out of the way and then do that. That's the only way, I think, just to make it a 2 versus 4. Even maybe a 2 versus 3 way by that point. You know, that's the best way of doing it. You want to focus down one Carno. That's not all I can really say today. Yeah. Good news to basically tell you guys is that I'm done with mechanic testing. I could do an update for the Cerato, but I could just put it in here. Thanks to the help of a good few people, I will name now, forget the list. Thanks to the work of Launch in the Era, as well as who else? Technically Kogo as well. You know, and all the people associated with these people. They took my initial Cerato video and they did some more tests with more people. So obviously I'm limited with the amount of people that I have. They're able to do these tests faster. And so they basically learned that I was correct about the 130 kilogram for Dryo cutoff point. But that only works for dinosaurs smaller than the Cerato. Any dinosaur bigger than Cerato, the buff triggers at 330 kilograms. I'm also fairly sure it's 130, but I don't really feel like doing it again, but I might then in the future. But that's just a quick thing for you guys to know. Bigger bodies apparently need to have a bigger kilogram percentage to do it. And so it is weight-based. It's just that the weight to trigger it is ridiculously small, which is why I came to the conclusion that it wasn't weight-based and it was growth-based. Because that seemed to have a bigger correlation. But I can always do a second test. That is all for today. If you're Cerato, run away from the Carno menace, and we'll see how long it takes for the community to realize that Carno is still as cracked as it used to be. Good night.